Break the board sports. It's your boy RJ Cash. Click that like, hit subscribe. We got two ACC games, really three, but we're not going to touch on that NC State Boston College game. First one we want to hop into, let's hop into Georgia Tech and Syracuse here on Tuesday night. Now, Georgia Tech went to Duke, gave them all they could handle. Right now, Syracuse is a 4-point favorite on the road. Your total 147.5. So 62% ticket count, 43% of the handle. Going to the over 147.5, 38% ticket count, 57% of the handle going to the under. Now, when you look at the sides in this, Syracuse laying the 4 on the road, overwhelming support, 57% of the ticket count, 90% of the money on the Syracuse Orange on the road. Georgia Tech, 43% ticket count, 10% of the handle. Now, they played twice last year here as they both reside in the ACC. Both of them defended their home court. Syracuse won at home 62-55. Georgia Tech won at home 65 to 60. Actually, I'll rephrase that. That was 2 years ago. Last year, one meeting, 62-55. Syracuse 2024, 65-60 there, Georgia Tech. Now, Georgia Tech coming off a 12-point win against Boston College. Again, they lost by 6 at Duke. Not a really impressive resume for Georgia Tech. They've really struggled. Syracuse coming off that 3-point home loss to Clemson. But they have wins against Tennessee, got blown out against Iowa State and Kansas. Syracuse did hang in there by 4 on the road to Houston. So they've been competitive for sure, have the Syracuse Orange. They've cashed to the money line 7 games over 500, 20-13 on the first half money line, put you up 14.45 units. Right now, you can get them first half money line minus $1.45 tonight. Now, they've played to the under 20 of their last 33 games. Again, you can find it. I just told you 147.5. You can actually get over at BetMGM a 148.5. Georgia Tech has played to the first half under as well. 21 of their last 34 games put you up 6.2 units. Again, first half game total under. You can get over FanDuel as your best bet under 70.5. I would look to that under 70.5 for sure. I like Georgia Tech plus the 4 in this matchup. When you look at statistically between these two teams, now the one big one is Kurinach, the center. Is he going to go for Georgia Tech? And obviously, Lobdell, he is out, or Lobdell, he is out for Syracuse. So that puts a kind of a chink in their armor. Now, Syracuse averaging 73.6 points per game, as to where Georgia Tech giving up 70 points per game. If you look at it from defensive standpoint, Syracuse about the same. So when you look at this, again, these teams kind of mirror each other. The fact that you're catching 4 on the road, I think is good, or 4 at home as a home dog, catching 4. I think that's really good value. I like the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets here, plus 4 tonight, and I like the under. Going to put a little half unit on both of those. Under first half, under the 70.5. Georgia Tech plus 4, half unit on both. The big game of the night is between my Duke Blue Devils. Any of you guys that follow know I'm a huge Duke Blue Devils fan, have been. First game I ever remember watching in college basketball, Duke at UNLV 1990. They got blown out. Now, you know, lucky me, from that point on, Duke has been rolling after that blowout to UNLV and that historic team. Now, this line has totally flipped because it's all Duke all the time. Louisville opened as a 1.5-point favorite, and as you might expect, all the love on the Duke Blue Devils. They have now flipped to a 2-point favorite, and as we sit here around a little after 10 a.m. Eastern time, I think by game time, it'll even get to 2.5. We'll see. Right now, 80% ticket count, 80% of the handle on the Duke Blue Devils, 20% ticket count, 20% of the handle on the Louisville Cardinals. Now, your total 161.5, 50-50 on the ticket count, but it's a little different. 65% of the ticket or handle is on the under, 35% to the over. I think the under 160.5 at first glance would be the side I lean. Let's hop into the handicap on this one. Now, Duke, obviously, Boozer, Foster's played really well. Evans has been a 3-point assassin. And again, Duke gets all the love, 13-1 coming into this, but they're just 7-7 ATS. I say this all the time, and again, I'm a diehard Duke fan, but we win, but we don't cover. We are 3-0 on the road. Now, Louisville comes in 11-3, but Louisville is unblemished at home. Now, Duke has won 7 straight in the series, including last year, 73-62. 7 straight wins in this series for the Duke Blue Devils. Louisville coming off of a really bad loss at Stanford, losing by 4. That was after blowing out Cal. They also got blown out at Tennessee, which was very concerning. But they have really good wins. Indiana, Memphis, Cincinnati. I didn't like the loss to Arkansas, but I also said this about this Louisville team. I said, as the season goes on, Louisville's going to get stronger. They just have a really, really good backcourt, a backcourt that I really like. I think it's one of the best in the country. Now, when you look at it on the road, Duke, 13th scoring offense in the nation, 86.4 points per game, but Louisville's averaging 99.5 points per game. Duke's defense has been a staple. Now, here's the thing about Duke's defense. They're giving up 65.5 points per game, but on the road, they're giving up 71.8. Why is that important? Louisville also very good defensively. Louisville likes to get after you, trap, and press. Louisville giving up 63 points per game. So when you look at it, Louisville giving up 63, Duke giving up 71.8. There's an 8-point advantage there. Louisville scoring 99, Duke scoring 86. There's about another 12. So Louisville, a huge advantage here from a statistical standpoint. Now, rebounding, Duke 59th in the country on the offensive glass, as to where Louisville 20th in the country on the offensive glass. So again, controlling the boards is going to be really, really key. Louisville shoots 50.6% from the field. Why is that important? Well, Duke, on the other hand, shooting 50% from the field. So again, 2 teams that can score the basketball at a high efficiency rate, but 2 defenses that are really, really stingy. Going to make for an absolute great game. Now, we talked about Duke 7-7 against the number this year. They're just 1-7 ATS their last 8. And look, the Duke Blue Devils have not been playing good basketball. We talked about those losses, that loss for Louisville at Stanford. Look, Duke blew a lead at Madison Square Garden to Texas Tech, lost that game by 1. And then Georgia Tech, only beating Georgia Tech by 6 at Cameron after that Texas Tech game. You would have thought they'd been up for it. Then they go to Florida State and only win by 4. So, again, some chinks in the armor, and I've said this. Again, I say this as a diehard Duke fan. I think Boozer is phenomenal, but this Duke team is not as good as last year's team by far. I don't even think it's as good as that Barrett Zion team a few years back. This team, Boozer carries them. They got some nice role pieces, but I don't look at this Duke team and I'm like, that's a Final Four team, right? I don't see that. Now, is it an Elite 8, Sweet 16 team? Yeah, but Duke has a tendency to lose games in the tournament that they shouldn't really lose also. So I think you got to be very careful. Now, we said Duke 13-1, and against Louisville, they've beat them 7 straight, and they're 5-1-1 ATS in that time frame. Duke, a perfect 6-0 on the road this year. 12-0, their last 12 contests versus the ACC. They've been crushing ACC opponents. Louisville, 7-3 ATS their last 10, 11-3 straight up their last 14. But here's the thing with the Cardinals. The Cardinals have won 19 straight games at home. They're 12-2 their last 14 versus ACC opponents their last 14 games. Look, Louisville, 19-game home win streak. They score more at home than Duke scores on the road. Louisville gives up less at home than Duke gives up on the road. And here's the thing, with a low spread like this, typically Duke is a double-digit favorite, 20-point favorite. So it's really hard to bet. This is a sucker bet. People are going to see Duke 1.5, 2, 2.5, and the public's going to pound them. They're already catching 80% of the money. The line's already flipped 3 points. I think it'll get to 2.5. I think it'll climb another point. Listen, Louisville here, +2 is the play. This Louisville team, I said at the beginning of the year, they're going to give Duke a run for their money for the ACC title. Again, as a Duke fan, hate to say it, but the Louisville Cardinals +2 tonight. Click that like, hit subscribe. RJ Cash Cole, Break the Board Sports, giving you stats, trends, and information to help you with your handicap. Whether you fade or follow, hope you win your bets. God bless and happy handicapping.